से। मेरा सवाल ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर की विजिट के बाद जिस तरीके से ब्रिस्बेन में घटना हुई है, खालिस्तानियों ने इंडियन ऑनरी कॉन्सुलेट को घेरा, तो क्या ऑस्ट्रेलियन गवर्नमेंट के साथ इस इशू को उठाया गया है और क्या फर्दर जो मिशंस की सिक्योरिटी है उसको लेकर भी कोई बात हुई है? और एक चीज़ और इसी से जुड़ी हुई कि क्या ऑस्ट्रेलियन गवर्नमेंट ने जो ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी अपनी रिवाइज की है उसको लेकर नोटिस किया है आपने?
Somebody, yeah, sure.
Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. My question is on Qatar again. 8 months have gone, the 8th bail plea has been rejected, no charges have been claimed. Where do we stand on this?
Sorry, go ahead, Siddhant.
So Siddhant from Beyond, my question is regarding the recent pact between Iran and Saudi Arabia mediated by China. Any reaction by the Indian side on this pact which has been brokered by China?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Microphone here.
Ranjan Sharma, RT. There are reports doing the rounds that India is going to abide by the price cap which is put on Russian oil by the G7 and the West. Could you clarify?
Against those reports. Okay. I had one more hand. No, I'll come to you, ma'am. Yeah, he.
सर मधुरेंद्र, मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से। मेरा सवाल है कि भारत ने जो ग्लोबल छवि अपनी बनाई और MEA ने जो ग्लोबल फोरम में इंडिया के स्टैंड को ऊपर रखा, खास तौर पर आपको लगता है कि राहुल गांधी के बयानों से इंडिया का इमेज वर्ल्ड वाइड टार्निश हुआ है?
Okay. Let me take these round of questions. Yeshi, let me start with yours. I know you've been raising this on a regular basis. We share with you updates that have come. Let me emphasize where we stand. As you said, we attach high priority to the matter. There are continuous efforts by our embassy for resolution of the matter, so that early return and repatriation can take place of the detained Indian nationals. Our embassy has been seeking consular access. I think one more request is pending, so that they can ascertain the welfare and well-being of our nationals. And the family meetings and the family visits continue to be facilitated. Overall, look, government remains fully seized of the matter, but I don't have an easy solution but you were saying where we stand, so let me emphasize where we are on vis-a-vis that. प्रणय, आपका प्रश्न था ब्रिस्बेन में हमारे ऑनरी कॉन्सुलेट का आपने जिक्र किया था। कुछ गलत स्टोरीज आ रही थी मीडिया में कि बंद हो गया है कॉन्सुलेट। हमारा ऑनरी कॉन्सुलेट है, थोड़ी देर के लिए रुका हुआ था। देखिए, जैसे आपने प्रधानमंत्री जी से डायरेक्टली सुना उन्होंने कि ये सारे मुद्दे उन्होंने उठाए थे अभी जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया के प्रधानमंत्री यहाँ आए थे, और उसके बाद उसी समय हुआ था, उसी के ठीक बाद हुआ था, ये मुद्दा भी उठाया गया है ऑस्ट्रेलिया अथॉरिटीज़ के साथ। और हमें अपेक्षा यही है कि ये एक्शन लें इस पर, जो ये कर रहे हैं उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करें, और ताकि ये ना हो। और एक बार प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कह लिया तो फिर उसके बाद मैं कुछ कहना नहीं चाहूँगा। आपने टेरर एडवाइजरी, उसके साथ मुझे नहीं डायरेक्ट लग रहा है कि लिंक है, मैंने एग्जैक्ट डिटेल नहीं देखे हैं, पर सिक्योरिटी इशू मुद्दे पे मैं कमेंट भी नहीं कर पाऊँगा इस वक्त। सिद्धांत, योर कमेंट वाज ऑन Iran and the latest Iran and Saudi rapprochement, I would say. Look, we have seen the reports in this regard. India has good relations with various countries in West Asia, and we have abiding interests in the region. India has always advocated dialogue and diplomacy as a way to resolve differences. So that would be my comment on that. Ranjan Sharma, you had asked about a price cap, or no, you had asked about a report on the price cap, or at least reports that there were in the media. Look, I'm extremely uncomfortable talking about reports that may be there. I don't know which report you are referring to. So let me just clarify, I don't want to comment on speculative media reports. We have repeatedly made it clear that our approach will be guided by our energy security requirements. You've heard this many times, and I think that continues to be valid. मधुरेंद्र जी, आपका प्रश्न था कि इसको आपको क्या लग रहा है, आपने, आई डोंट थिंक ये फॉरेन पॉलिसी के एरिया में है, अभी ये मुद्दा पार्लियामेंट में भी जिक्र हो रहा है, तो मैं इसमें नहीं बयान दूँ तो बेहतर है। हमारी जो पूरी प्रयास रहती है भारत सरकार की तरफ से, विदेश मंत्रालय की तरफ से, कि इंडिया की छवि और इंडिया की जो फॉरेन पॉलिसी और हमारे जो पर्सपेक्टिव्स हैं वो दूसरे देशों के साथ हम शेयर करें, ताकि हमारे जो इंटरेस्ट हैं और हमारे जो ज़रूरतें उसको ले जा सकें, कुछ उसमें आगे बढ़ पाएँ। Okay, next, I thought I saw your hand. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. I'll come back to you.
Sir, मैं कविता जोशी हूँ, हरिभूमि न्यूज़पेपर
पेपर से।
जी।
सर मेरा सवाल ये, अमेरिका के सीनेट में एक 2 दलों का प्रस्ताव 2 बार आ चुका है। उसमें अमेरिका का ये कहना है कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश में जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल, मैकमोहन जो लाइन है वो अरुणाचल प्रदेश और चीन के बीच में इंटरनेशनल बाउंड्री है। और दूसरा, उन्होंने चाइना का जो एग्रेशन है, चाहे वो LAC पर एग्रेशन हो या फिर इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन में, उसको भी उन्होंने काफ़ी क्रिटिसाइज़ किया है। तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि इंडिया क्या ये मानता है कि अमेरिका ने जो कहा है उससे भारत सहमत है, या फिर भारत का ये कहना है कि जो बाउंड्री डिस्प्यूट है भारत और चीन के बीच में वो बायलैटरल इशू है, उस पर किसी तीसरे देश को।
आपने बहुत सारे ऑप्शन दे दिए मुझे, पर मुझे दोहराएंगे पहला पार्ट, आपका प्रश्न क्या था?
पहला यही है कि जो सीनेट का 2 बार जो प्रपोजल आया है,
प्रपोजल की बात कर रहे हैं ना? मैं सोच रहा था कि आप कह रहे हैं अमेरिका ने कहा है, मैं जस्ट चेक कर रहा था आपने क्या कहा है। या गो अहेड।
Good afternoon. How is it?
Please introduce yourself for the record,
yeah,
Elena.
Elena TASS News Agency.
Yeah.
How is it important for India the continuation of the Green Deal, the Black Sea Green Deal, and what is your position on the continuation of this deal only for 60 days, or only
That's
for
very
just for
specific.
60 days?
Okay, Kallol, I'll just take you on that. Kallol at the back. एक मिनट रुक जाइए।
Kallol from the Hindu. The U.S. Ambassador designate Garcetti has said that the alleged human rights violations in India would be at the center of his tenure in New Delhi. This he said in a Senate briefing. So, and that has actually drawn quite a few responses from the Indian side, especially from the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and other such organizations. What would you like to say? Do you think Mr. Garcetti has violated something like a golden rule of diplomacy by spelling out his agenda even before arriving in New Delhi?
Okay, fair enough. No, Neeraj.
सर नीरज कुमार।
हाँ, माइक्रोफोन।
सर नीरज हूँ न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। हमारा सवाल है, SCO डिफेंस मिनिस्टर्स की मीटिंग होने वाली है अप्रैल में। पाकिस्तान के डिफेंस मिनिस्टर्स को भी न्योता किया है, क्या उन्होंने आमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया है?
एक और प्रश्न ले लेता हूँ, किसका था? या आइए प्लीज, जस्ट 1 सेकंड। या गुड, योर माइक्रोफोन। या गुड।
Sir, I'm Akhilesh Suman from Sansar TV. Japan Prime Minister is about to visit India. So can you throw some light about the agenda and expected outcomes?
You know what I'm going to say. Okay, let me try to answer this.
Please say something.
Okay, I say something. Anything. Okay. कविता जी, आपका प्रश्न थोड़ा पेचीदा इसीलिए है क्योंकि मैंने कोई ऐसा रेजोल्यूशन नहीं देखा सेनेट में। हो सकता है आप जिक्र कर रहे हैं कुछ रेजोल्यूशन प्रस्ताव किया गया हो या टेबल किया गया हो। हमने कुछ ऐसे रिपोर्ट्स देखे हैं, हम उसके बारे में ज़्यादा डिटेल्स निकाल रहे हैं क्या एग्जैक्टली उसके बारे में है। पर अभी तो मैंने कोई देखा नहीं कि उन्होंने कोई मतलब अमेरिकी सरकार की तरफ से कोई स्पेसिफिक रिस्पांस आया है इस पर। तो अभी के लिए मेरे पास इतना ही कहने के लिए है कि हम उसको देख रहे हैं, उस रेजोल्यूशन का क्या डिटेल्स हैं। अभी टेबल्ड ही हुआ है। Elena, on your question, look, I think you or somebody else asked me a few weeks ago on this. We have always stressed the importance of having food security, energy security for the developing world. And as you would recall, this grain deal, as you call it, which allowed grain to come out of that region, was useful. I don't have a specific comment on whether it's for 60 days or what exactly is it. But yes, on a larger issue, I think it is important that the global community looks at the concerns of the developing world in terms of access to food, the right prices, affordability of food, as well as energy. And you would also seen fertilizers in that list. So I think that's how we would look at the concerns vis-a-vis the so-called grain deal. Huh? Micro, I can't hear this.
So you welcome it?
I don't know if it's been renewed. I don't know if it's been renewed. Let it get renewed. Let's see what the contours are. Let me not prejudge it. Kallol, your question, I wasn't sure how to answer it because you made a comment right at the beginning which I'm not in agreement with. So let me clarify. I'm not aware, frankly, of any recent comment by Ambassador-designate Garcetti on this issue. I think there's something in social media which is pretty old. Okay, so let me emphasize, we welcome the confirmation of Mr. Eric Garcetti as Ambassador to India. We look forward to working with him to take forward our multifaceted bilateral relations. And on the other issues that you mentioned, look, our position on many of these issues is well known to the world. नीरज जी, आपका सवाल था SCO डिफेंस मिनिस्टर्स के बारे में। देखिए, मैंने पहले भी दोहराया था, आई थिंक हमारे यहाँ विदेश सचिव ने भी दोहराया था, क्योंकि हम चेयर हैं SCO के, तो इस नाते हम सारे SCO मेंबर्स को ऐसा न्योता देंगे, हमारे जो सारे इवेंट्स हैं जो इंटरगवर्नमेंटल है उसके तहत ऐसी कोई इन्विटेशंस गई हैं, पर अब उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किया। अब हर इवेंट का मैं याद नहीं रख पाता हूँ, ना मैं फॉलो करता हूँ। अगर कुछ स्पेसिफिक है आपके साथ शेयर करने के लिए ज़रूर करूँगा, पर हम इन्विटेशन सबको भेज रहे हैं। Akhilesh, I am sorry to disappoint you. Yes, let me confirm. We look forward to the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Japan. That's on Monday. As you know, Japan is a very important partner. We have annual summits with them. This is part of that. And they're also partners in plurilateral and multilateral constructs. So we look forward to a rich discussion. We look forward to exchange of views. Prime Minister had gone to Japan last year. Prime Minister Kishida had come here. So we look forward to taking forward those discussions. But what will be the talking points? What will be the outcomes? Let the leaders, talk about it. I think it's far too soon to prejudge that. Okay, let me take another round. I think we'll close with that. Who were the question? No, somebody had raised a hand here. Yes, I remember you. Yeah.
Hi sir, I'm Abhishek Jha from CNN News 18. My question is regarding reports that Indian Embassy in Kabul has conducted some courts where Taliban has also said participation. If you could give some details on that, and should we see it as some sort of engagement, a diplomatic engagement from Indian side to the Taliban?
Could you be specific on that second part? Should we see it some sort of diplomatic engagement?
Diplomatic engagement from the Indian side to the Taliban, de facto government in Afghanistan. And also, as I say, it's a related question. What about the visas that has been pending for the many students who have been held up in Afghanistan and they are not doing visa? So if you could...
Fair enough. Okay. Who had a hand up there? No, same question. Yeah, Shinjoy. I'll come to you.
So there are reports about
Shinjoy, times now,
sir. Another meeting at the commander's level, because a new commander has just reached Ladakh from the Indian side.
You mean with China?
With China.
Okay.
So can you tell us about
no.
it?
Okay, fair enough.
Hearing that another meeting is on the anvil.
Good, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, Sridhar from the Asian Age. My question is back to Australia. You just made a comment that the embassy, the consulate was not closed in Brisbane. What exactly happened? You said you said ruka hua tha or something.
I can tell you in English. Fair enough. If that's your question, I'll come.
No. I wanted to know that the footage showed that there was this group demonstrating. The Australian police were also standing by and watching. This comes right after the PM has visited. So, what are the specifics? You said you had raised the matter with Australia. Has the Australian High Commissioner been called in? How exactly? And the second is a small clarification on the Afghan issue. The translation of the memo from Dari, it spoke of a note.
I have no idea what memo you're talking about.
Apparently issued by the Afghan so-called foreign
I have
ministry.
no idea what you're talking about.
But it said that it spoke of a note verbal being issued by the Embassy of India to the
Where
foreign
did you see
ministry.
that?
It was
on social media.
There on social media.
Okay.
It was there on
I
social
got your
media.
question. What is your query on that?
My query is that are the contents of that memo accurate? Did we actually issue a note verbal?
Is this related to the question Abhishek asked?
It's related to that. Did we actually issue a note verbal, etc.? Thank you.
Okay, fair enough. I'll try to. Two questions. Today and people are in mood. Hold it. Yeah, you had raised your hand. Kalur, hold on. I'll come back to you.
Sir, I have a follow-up question regarding
you
the
need to introduce
consulate.
yourself for poor transcript.
No, sir.
Please introduce yourself for the
record. Sir, I'm Siddhant from CNN.
I know.
Yeah. Sir, my question to you is that जब प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बोला था खालिस्तान मुद्दे पे, मंदिर के मुद्दे पे, तो उन्होंने बोला था हमारी टीमें दोनों तरफ से संपर्क में रहेंगी, ये उनके शब्द थे. So yesterday when this happened, so was there any exchange between the teams of Australia and India?
Okay.
First question, sir. And
this is a follow-up, I thought. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Quick.
Yes.
We're really.
And sir, also, sir, there are a couple of other referendums which are already planned to take place in Australia. Maybe in Brisbane, and one referendum is going to take place somewhere else. I don't remember exactly. So has there been any official communication made from the Indian side to the Australians that we condemn if such referendums take place, and the authorities should try to stop it too?
I'm sorry to interrupt. You're really defining what my communication will be, no?
No.
Literally. Help us draft it.
I'm just asking you, sir, that...
I will tell you.
Yeah.
You asked me, I'll tell
I
you.
hope you got my question.
I got your question very well. There was a hand, one second, before I go. There was a hand here. Yes, sir, go ahead. And I don't know, I might take another question. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we have a few more minutes.
I'm
Go ahead.
Sandeep Dikshit with
Yes.
the Tribune newspaper.
Okay.
This is about the infant Ariha Shaha, who's been in German foster care for 1.5 years. And it is said if she stays till August, she might have to be permanently separated from her parents. Are there any steps being taken to repatriate her, considering that Romanians have been able to do so to 7 children, and Turks with children
Romanian?
who were in German foster
Okay.
care?
Generally. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is said that her parents had met MEA officials today.
Yeah.
So was there any outcome from that?
Okay, fair enough. Let me take this round. I think there are still a couple of hands. I'll try to squeeze in as many as I can. Okay. Look, Abhishek, your query and what Siddhant, I think you indirectly referred to. On Afghanistan, I don't know whether that question was specific to Afghanistan, but let me answer it in the context that we see it. Okay, which is that India has been extending capacity building assistance to developing countries across the world through what is called the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, known as the ITEC program. This includes online courses also. These courses are on numerous topics and they are conducted by different Indian institutions. These scholarship courses are open to nationals of various countries, including those from Afghanistan. And I think a number of Afghan nationals, both based in India as well as in Afghanistan, have been participating in this ITEC courses. Of course, the online courses do not involve travel to India. You had asked a little more about it, saying, did we issue a note verbal? And I think Abhishek said, is that a diplomatic engagement or something? Look, our position on how we see developments in Afghanistan has not changed. And I don't think anything should be read into ITEC courses vis-a-vis that. We certainly would not be issuing note verbals, which are intergovernmental notes, to entities that are not recognized. So I will not have anything further to say. So on the issue of the visas, yes. Look, on the visas are frankly not an MEA topic, so I would refer you to the relevant organization. On the issue of, I think, Siddhant, let me just take that question. You talked about Australia something, right? Has it been taken up? Sridhar, your question also was, where is Sridhar? Yes, on Brisbane. Look, what I spoke to him in Hindi was, there is an honorary consulate there. Not a Consulate General of India, but an honorary consulate of India. I understand a small number of protesters were there, and for a little while there was some disruption, but it certainly is not closed. The honorary consulate continues to function normally, providing necessary services. I would not like to comment on footages, particularly video footages which are not been confirmed, or sometimes they give a wrong impression. So I am not going to comment on that. But yes, we have taken it up with the Australian government. You heard the Prime Minister take it up with the Australian Prime Minister, and we have been taking up on a regular basis whenever such incidents occur. Unfortunately, they have occurred a number of times. As Siddhant referred to, that there was some degree of the teams in touch. Yes, our team's in touch. That's how we take this up quickly. I'm not going to get into the composition or the level of the teams, but they are in touch. As regards the so-called referendum, our views are very clear on this. I'm not going to spell it out again, what we are going to tell them. But certainly, such politically motivated exercises, we do not have any support for. And we have flagged it to our counterpart, not just in Australia, but in other parts wherever such efforts have been made. Shinjoy, on the commander level talks, look, I think there was a commitment on both sides to have the next round of commander level talks at the early date in the last WMCC that took place physically in Beijing a little while earlier. I don't have a date to share with you yet. We'll certainly do that once we have more information. Sandeep Dikshit, you mentioned about a case of a baby girl in Germany. I don't want to take her name, but you know the background to it. Let me, frankly, this is a very sensitive case. You would have heard our Foreign Secretary deal with this topic when after I think it was a visit of the German Chancellor in the press conference. Let me just emphasize what he had spoken. It talked about great sensitivity, something that we care deeply, and on which both the embassy and the Foreign Ministry, the Ministry of External Affairs, have been in close touch with the parents and with the German authorities to find a way forward. Of course, he also added it involves a baby infant child. There are serious issues related to privacy, and I don't think we can comment beyond that. You were asked a specific question about whether they're meeting MEA officials. Yes, as I said, they are in touch with the ministry, and I think there is a meeting that is to take place today, and I don't think it's happened yet. But again, that could, this is the more ongoing sort of conversation, so I'm not sure today's meeting is anything particular. Okay, I'll take last round of questions. I think we're running out of time. Okay, who are the people? Yes, you had a question. No, you had already asked. Go ahead.
Nanima from ABP Live. Just wanted a confirmation if the India-Bangladesh cross-border oil pipeline will be inaugurated later this week, maybe Sunday. That's what the reports from Bangladesh is.
Has there been a press release yet from the? Okay, then I can't say anything about it. Okay, so go ahead with that. No, at the appropriate time. It's not how, it's a cross-border pipeline, and the relevant ministry will make it public as and when they are ready to do so. We'll certainly try to share with you more details. Sorry, go ahead.
Sir, Rishikesh from PTI. Is India concerned about the political instability in Pakistan, given it may impact our security situation in bordering states like Punjab?
No, your questions are very different. Could you reframe your questions?
Is India concerned about...
From a security perspective. No, you said security and you said political. Security, fair enough. I'll respond to the security part. Who had a question? Yeah, okay, so Hasani, go ahead. I know a lot of people have follow-up questions. But give me a second, if I have time.
You named me?
No, Suhasini.
Suhasini Heather from The Hindu. I'm sorry, I just got in late. Just wanted to ask about an announcement by the US President, the Australian Prime Minister, the UK Prime Minister for an AUKUS trilateral involving submarines worth approximately $368 billion. Russia and China have formally raised concerns about the possibility that these violate the Non-Proliferation Treaty and that there could be proliferation in the Indo-Pacific. There have been concerns also voiced from Malaysia and Indonesia about an arms race in the Indo-Pacific. Give us a sense of how India sees the development.
Fair enough. There was one more hand which hadn't come up. No, you guys, anything quick? Something follow-up? Something related? I'll take quick things. No. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, Mukesh Kaushik from Dainik Bhaskar.
Go ahead, Mukesh Kaushik. Yeah.
Sir, recently China brokered a peace deal between Iran
I answered that question.
and Saudi Arabia. No, my question is different.
Okay, let's hear that.
So, have you saw it coming, or Chinese completely surprised you? Secondly, what may be the hidden agenda?
We are on camera, right? I'll be careful what I say.
Thirdly, how it is going to change the dynamics of relationship between India and Gulf countries?
Okay, I will answer your question right now, so that there's no complication. We have seen reports in this regard. India has good relations with various countries in West Asia, and we have deep abiding interests in that region. And we have always advocated for diplomacy and dialogue as a way to resolve differences. That's all I will say. You can ask 3 parts of the question. Sorry, somebody else has left. Yeah, Pranay. So this is the last question. Huh? Yeah, Pranay, last question. Okay.
Sir,
go ahead.
Yeah, Pranay from ABP News. My question is regarding the some reports, some media reports suggesting that the DPI, Democratic Party of India, used some lobbying firm in US.
Is there a Democratic Party of India?
So, I don't know. But
so what's your question?
Media reports suggesting
specific
that
question,
the
please.
Party of India, which is I don't know, but allegedly registered from the Mission Office of Washington and using some lobbying firm in US. Okay. So what's your comment on that?
Fair enough.
Media reports.
Fair enough. I can understand. Okay, let me take this final round of questions. Nanima, I answered your question. We have been trying to enhance connectivity with Bangladesh, various types of connectivity, including physical and otherwise. This is something that is being planned, but as I said, till the concerned ministry and give out more details, let me not comment on it yet. So Hasani, on your query regarding AUKUS, right? Which is what? Look, I don't think yesterday or earlier this week was the first time we have come across AUKUS. You mentioned comments by other countries. Let me just make a very brief comment on this because this has been some time. As you are aware, India is not a participant in this trilateral security pact. And the recent visit, the Australian government has briefed us on the matter at various levels. And I don't have anything else further to say for the moment on that issue. Rishikesh, your query was, what was the exact query? Whether I written part of it and I think I missed part of it. Where's Rishikesh gone? Huh? Yeah, security part. Look, we always keep an eye out on developments that might affect our security interests and our security concerns. We take necessary measures to do that. I don't want to comment on political developments. I may not be fully aware of it, but we certainly keep an eye out on developments that impact us, certainly in our region. Pranay, I think your query it's a little indirect. Let me see. I had some paper somewhere. This is that lobbying firm. There was a report, and there was okay. Look, let me just mention. Okay, from time to time, Government of India hires consultants and lobbying firms abroad. Part of our outreach activities by the embassies. I think the name of this organization in the US is called Cornerstone Government Affairs Incorporated, and it has been engaged by our embassy in Washington, DC. We understand that lobbying firms in the US have to comply with certain US regulations, not ours. We are certainly not aware of any entity called the Democratic Party of India. That's why I was curious. It appears to have been a clerical error by that lobbying firm, that's what we understand, while filing its American or the US government regulations, and it has subsequently corrected that. I saw a completely speculative and incorrect story in one of the Indian media. We tried to draw some inferences out of it, despite knowing the facts which are publicly available. So it's unfortunate that they went ahead with that. Okay, with that I will stop. Thank you very much for joining us for this special media briefing.